Hey everyone, ZenRyder here with a special edition called Learning on the Sherman. Today we've got a Turning 101 tutorial with some special tips and for those who are looking to learn how to ride.
Are you gonna help me or not?
All right. I'll tell you what to do. Go that way, really fast. If something gets in your way, turn.
What a coach.
So riding an EUC is all about the turning, and we're going to talk about 3 ways to turn. So the way number 1 I will call a hip turn. And this really comes down to rotating your hips and physically turning yourself. It works best at low speed. If you look at the top view of the Sherman on the right, you'll see as you twist left or right, that is a way to make a rudimentary turn. Again, like I said, this really works best at low speeds. Because at higher speeds, it's not as effective. So that brings us to method number 2, which I'll call a pedal turn. And with a pedal turn, you're basically going to be applying force like on the toes of your pedals or the back of your pedals. And in order to turn, just like when you accelerate, you're going to push both toes down on both pedals. But when you're doing a turn, you're basically going to push on one of the pedals and not push on the other one. You're not really going to push back, but like in this diagram, you push forward on the left and maybe leave on the right one level. But what that does is that makes the EUC turn to the left. And a lot of people use this during carving or other things. You're really using your ankles and a lot of times that leverage. That's why you have the power pads, to push the leverage forward and back. It's an effective way of turning and carving. Which brings us to the third method of turning I'll call the center of gravity turn. And in this kind of a turn, if you notice the crosshairs on the right over the top view of the Sherman, if you move literally your center of gravity forward or forward left, you're moving your body, tilting it out over on top of it. And when you do that, the EUC has to naturally catch up. And this is one of the most effective ways of really leveraging it. The problem here is you have to trust that the EUC is going to catch up, that the unicycle will cover it. So as you lean back to decelerate or to turn into a slowing turn, you're really putting yourself out over that center of gravity. I think this is the part that clicks in your brain. And the truth of the matter is, once you really clicks, you use all 3 of these ways of turning for different situations. But all together is what really makes it an amazing experience when riding an EUC. So enough of the boring diagrams. Let's get out there and actually teach someone to ride. Here, my brother-in-law, I'm trying to teach him, and after going over all these different methods and talking it through, I basically we were trying in a tennis court here because it's nice and smooth, and I basically was helping him to get started and get rolling, and he was really feeling it. It was he was going pretty quick. This is actually within the first few minutes of him riding. Now, he's a surfer and has pretty good balance, so it was working pretty good for him. And I thought this was a really quick start for him. He was feeling pretty good there, but probably just enough to get cocky. So we had to take it to the field because we're having a few too many crashes there on the cement and the tennis court. And as you see, there's a few tumbles. The Sherman is a pretty heavy EUC to be learning on, frankly, at 75 pounds. And so when you do fall, you do run a risk of getting your ankles nicked or going down hard. But for the most part, he was able to recover on a lot of these in the softer grass. But he was definitely learning quickly, and he had a good time out there. Sometimes when you're new, you're trying to remember which ways that you need to balance, and you might mix up pushing on the pedals versus twisting versus moving your center of gravity. That's really the part that it takes a while to learn how to do. And you might take a few tumbles as you're learning, but honestly, it's when you pull it all together and it helps you to get that. Once it clicks, then you're able to ride. Sometimes it does take a little while, and you've got to follow up, but you'll get there. To all the people learning to ride, I just have to say, hey, have patience. It takes practice. You got to get out there, and don't be afraid to fall. But I think the biggest thing is trusting and being able to lean out and make that center of gravity move. And once you get confident with that and comfortable, then you're able to move and use a combination of those methods to do it. And you feel like that. You just feel this joy once you get it. Then you become one with that wheel. And as you're riding, you just think, I need to go this way, and it just goes. It takes a little while before you get that, but once you do, it's great. We then decided to go for a little ride. My brother-in-law is riding an e-bike here. It's not doing a lot of pedaling there because it's got a throttle on it, which is nice, but it's still a good way to get some exercise. And the Woodlands has a lot of trails all the way around, and it's a beautiful place. So we did a little bit of riding around on these trails. There are definitely some smaller electric unicycles to learn on that might be a little easier. I learned on a Kingsong 14D personally, but I would say if someone were going to buy one, I would say you could learn on a Sherman. You just need to be a little more patient and make sure you're geared up good, just for you taking a few spills here and there. But it's a great EUC, and it will be one that you won't outgrow, that's for sure, unless you're going to do specialized jumps and other things. But in terms of street riding or versatility or long distance rides, the Sherman is a great choice. So hopefully if you're one of those who are learning to ride, I hope you got something out of this video. I've never really seen it or thought that much about the turning, but that really is the key. And when I was learning, I just learned and it just clicked, and I had to go back and think about all the different ways to kind of put that together to talk about it or to try to help somebody else. So hopefully that's helped you. I love getting out there and riding with all the other PEVs, whether it's e-bikes or boosted boards or one wheels. It's great to grow the community, and I hope that we can ride all together as we improve the trails and the availability of all the different places we have to ride. It's better for everyone, and we can all enjoy it together. So anyway, thanks for coming out on this ride with me and on this learning on the Sherman. And I hope to catch you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you see me on the next video coming out. Anyway, hope to see you soon. Thanks. Bye.